This has been our base for exploring the Cradle Mountain area. Great little spot by the river. There's been trout jumping on dawn and dusk. Haven't seen any platypus, but still kind of hopeful, even though unlikely now. But it's about half an hour from the mountain, and what a fantastic little spot it is. Still in the Cradle Mountain region of Tasmania, and we've gone for a little bit of a bushwalk looking for Bridal Veil Falls, but we've actually turned off the road a little bit earlier, just following the sound of what sounded like another waterfall. Found this beautiful little swimming hole / waterfall. Absolutely stunning, and as it turns out, chock full of little brown trout. And of course my rod is sitting back in the car, but still great spot to just hang out, cool down. Just gorgeous. I assume you can't see through the glare, but there's brown trout just over there scooting around. A beautiful little spot. Just had a quick shower under Bridal Veil Falls. Nice fall, in the full sun at this time of day, but still a really nice waterfall. Had to whack the 6 stock ND filter on to get a decent shot of it, but worth it. It's, as you can see in the background there, very nice fall. Just walking between Bridal Veil Falls and Champagne Falls. Beautiful little section of forest. I'm just blown away in Tasmania by the moss everywhere. Everything is lush, ferns everywhere, moss everywhere. Just so different to the northern states, but beautiful. There is good plate-sized trout just swimming around, and my rod is in the car. So if anyone has any bush tips to catch trout with your bare hands, yeah, let me know. Oh, there he is, just there. I don't know if you can see under that tree or not. Yeah. You might see him come out of the shadow there. Yeah, there he is. We made it. Champagne Falls. What a stunning spot. Look at those greens. Wow. Here at Champagne Falls in the Cradle Mountain District, and trying to capture some images of these fantastic falls. Having a little bit of difficulty. I've got the polarizing lens on, but I'm still getting a whole lot of lens flare up high on the waterfalls up there, and a whole lot of blown out highlights. So I think what I'm going to do is whack on my 4-stop soft ND grad filter and see if I can equal out the light from that high section to that low section of the waterfall, and see how we go from there. Just a hot tip, if you're ever sitting in front of a waterfall taking photographs and changing filters or polarizers or whatever on the front of your lens, cover your lens with a rag or something to keep the spray off it, otherwise you'll be constantly cleaning spray off your lens. So I've got on a 4-stop soft ND grad filter now. I know a lot of people say that these sort of filters are useless and you can replicate this in post-production, but for me, if you can get it in one shot, it's a lot better than trying to get it in 3 or 4 different exposures and layer them. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. Just sitting here at the start of the Balfour track in Tasmania. Straight away, there's no kidding, you're straight into rock steps and whatever. We're traveling solo, so we're probably going to drive a little way in and see if we can hook up with another convoy passing through, because you're not meant to do this track alone. Hopefully we can. Worst case scenario, we get to a point where we don't feel comfortable and we turn around and come back, but let's go for a look. Up here about maybe a 1/5 of the way along the Balfour track, and we've been through a few little waterholes so far, but nothing too crazy. The first bit's mostly bush, but as you can see, the waterholes are starting to appear. So far they're pretty low, and to be honest, not much of a problem, but we'll see how we go when we get a bit further in. But that first section was all sandy, bushy, A lot of pinstripes through, yeah, very narrow tracks, very rocky as well. So, yeah, we'll see what the heathlands up ahead of us bring. Oh, I've just pulled a plug. Disaster, disaster. I've pulled a plug. That was the sloppy bit. Just there. So this is the alternate way around. Just track after track of boghole and boghole, and the ground is just that soft. This is the sort of stuff you're dealing with out here. It's just not drivable, there's no way. Finished the Balfour track, just gonna start heading south down towards Carina and down to Granville Harbour, that sort of area. Hopefully do climbers in a couple of days. Balfour track, a lot narrower in places than I thought, a lot of pinstripey bush. The very first section, we did it west to east, and coming from the west, the very first section is rock steps, and then there's a whole bunch of pretty off-camber, horrible angle, sandy bits, but nothing, you know, too crazy. But a few little climbs, rocky climbs, rock steps, a lot more of that sort of stuff than I expected. I thought it was all going to be heathland and just bogs. And then once we got to the bogs, a lot of them had dozens of other ways around through the heathland, and I would say 95% of the time they were way worse than the main track. The main track in most cases is pretty good. Would recommend just driving that rather than trying to figure out a way through the heathland, which is literally just bog. But try and stick to the main track basically. Not only is it easier for you to drive, but you're not destroying the landscape.